Have you ever told someone your goal, your dream, your next step, only to find resistance, jealousy, or silent sabotage rise against you? This is no coincidence. The moment your plan becomes known, others begin shaping your fate. But today, we take that power back. In every age, whether in courts, kingdoms, or the modern world, there is one fatal mistake people continue to make. They speak of their plans before they act. And when they do, their enemies listen. Today, we will solve a timeless problem: why revealing your plans destroys your power and how silence becomes your greatest weapon. Let us begin with a truth as old as empires themselves. Power is not taken by force alone. Power is taken by calculation, by patience, and by silence. The individual who reveals his intentions before the moment of action invites others to prepare their defenses, sharpen their weapons, gather their allies, and construct walls where there were once open gates. This is why secrecy is not merely a tactic. It is a shield, a fortress, a strategic veil that allows one to move without resistance. Consider the man who speaks openly of his dreams. He tells the world what he intends to accomplish. He believes that by saying it out loud, he gains admiration, praise, support. But what he truly gains is exposure. He exposes the architecture of his ambition to those who would prefer to see him fail. Not everyone who smiles at your plans wishes to see them succeed. Many smile only to take notes. When you reveal your designs, you give your enemies the most valuable gift they could ever receive: time. Time to study your strategy, time to imitate your approach, time to prepare traps, barriers, and subtle poisons. In this world, time is not neutral. It is either your ally or your executioner, and the fool who speaks too early hands it away willingly. Now imagine another figure. This one remains silent. He listens more than he speaks. He observes before he moves. He allows his actions to grow in the shadows, like the roots of a tree burrowing unseen beneath the earth. His silence does not reveal intention. His expression reveals nothing of his strategies. And because no one knows what he seeks, no one knows how to stop him. This is the essence of advantage, unpredictability. When others cannot read your mind, they cannot block your path. They cannot oppose what they cannot see. They cannot defend against a move they do not know exists. The silence of intention forces your rivals into a state of uncertainty. And uncertainty breeds hesitation. Hesitation breeds weakness. Weakness invites defeat. In politics, warfare, business, personal relationships, the pattern is universal. The one who moves silently wins. Even kings who sat upon golden thrones learned this truth. A ruler who announced every policy before it was enacted invited rebellion, dissent, and plots from those who feared the change. But the ruler who enacted first and explained later found his decisions accepted as fact, as reality already shaped. Understand this. Human beings do not fear what is known. They fear what they cannot predict. A man with a visible sword is dangerous. A man whose hands are empty but whose intentions are hidden is far more terrifying. Look at history's most cunning figures. They did not boast. They did not reveal. They moved in silence while the world slept. And when the world awoke, the game had already changed. Their influence had already spread. Their victory had already become cemented in the foundation of power. Your plans are seeds. If you plant them in the open, birds will eat them, winds will scatter them, people will trample them. But if you plant them deep, in a soil untouched by sight, your plans grow roots strong enough to withstand storms. And let us speak of jealousy, one of the most common forms of sabotage. When people hear your ambitions, many do not think, "I hope they succeed." They think, "Why them and not me?" They fear your rise. They fear that your success will diminish their position. So they whisper doubt into your ear. They discourage you. They convince you to slow down or reconsider. They poison your confidence drip by drip. And if they cannot destroy your will, they may attempt to block you more directly, using influence, connections, or opportunities to ensure you never reach the summit. But if they never know you are climbing, they cannot prevent you from reaching the peak. This is why silence is not a passive trait. Silence is a weapon. Silence is a strategy. Silence is the invisible cloak under which empires are built. The one who is silent does not operate with pride or vanity. He does not need applause during the journey. He requires applause only at the destination. And applause means nothing if it echoes before the victory is complete. To move unseen is to move freely. To move freely is to move with power. So understand the wisdom. Your goals belong to you. Your strategy belongs to you. Your future belongs to you. You owe the world no explanation for the paths you choose to walk. If others demand to know your intentions, smile. If they press further, change the subject. If they guess, neither confirm nor deny. Let them drown in their own assumptions, for the greatest advantage is achieved when the world does not know how, when, or why you act. Keep your intentions close. Speak only when the result has already been secured. Let your silence be the shadow that blinds your opposition. Let your quiet mind be the storm they never see approaching. There is a certain kind of power that does not require force, wealth, or loud declarations. It is the power of mystery, the power of silence, the power of being unreadable. When a person does not reveal what they are thinking, when their next move cannot be predicted, they become a force others must respect, for uncertainty is the most potent weapon in human interaction. It does not strike the body, it strikes the mind. Observe how people behave around someone who says little. Their curiosity awakens, their assumptions multiply, their imagination begins to create explanations where none were given. And the mind, when left in the dark, tends to imagine things far greater and far more dangerous than reality. One silent man can create more fear than a crowd of men shouting threats. This is why unpredictability is power. When others cannot anticipate your next action, they cannot prepare defenses, they cannot undermine you. They cannot block your path. They must move carefully, cautiously, always wondering what you intend, what you know, what you plan. And the moment another is forced to wonder about you, rather than act against you, you already hold the advantage. Imagine two generals at war. One sends messengers every day, declaring what his next move will be. The other remains silent. No reports, no statements, no signals. Which general commands more fear? The one who is silent, because the unknown stirs anxiety. Anxiety leads to hesitation. Hesitation leads to defeat. The battle is often won before the swords ever clash. This same principle governs human relationships, workplaces, politics, negotiation, even family dynamics. The person who reveals everything they think, feel, and plan becomes predictable. Predictability creates comfort. Comfort breeds disrespect. People feel free to interfere with what they understand. But the one who speaks little becomes a puzzle. A puzzle demands caution, and caution bends others to your advantage. Understand this. Silence is not simply the absence of words. Silence is control. It is the refusal to give power away, because every word reveals something, a thought, a motive, a weakness, a desire. And human beings by nature exploit what they discover. If they know what angers you, they can provoke you. If they know what motivates you, they can manipulate you. If they know what you plan to achieve, they can place themselves in your path. But if they know nothing, there is nothing for them to use. Unpredictability does not require theatrics. It requires stillness, a calm presence that does not react instantly, a thoughtful pause before speaking, a habit of listening more than explaining. The silent person gathers information while others waste theirs. The silent person studies the intentions of others while keeping their own veiled, and while the talkative expose themselves, the silent accumulate advantage. Imagine you are in a room where many speak quickly, loudly, eagerly. There is always one who speaks little. That is the one people watch. That is the one whose opinion, when spoken, carries weight. Not because the words themselves are special, but because they are rare. Scarcity creates value. A diamond is admired because it is uncommon. A word is powerful when silence surrounds it. Now observe the psychological shift. Silence creates. When you do not respond immediately to provocation, the provocateur grows uneasy. When you do not confirm what others suspect, they begin to question their assumptions. When you do not react to praise or insult, others cannot measure your emotional state. And when they cannot measure you, they cannot control you. People fear what they cannot read. Kings who were difficult to read were considered formidable. Leaders who revealed nothing commanded loyalty because no one could confidently oppose them. Even in the simplest of human interactions, mystery increases perceived strength. The more predictable you are, the easier it becomes for others to dismiss you, ridicule you, or undermine you. But the less predictable your mind becomes, the more others hesitate before speaking your name. Silence forces others to reveal themselves first. They rush to explain, to justify, to prove, to impress. And in their eagerness, they expose their motivations, insecurities, and desires. They show their weaknesses. Meanwhile, the silent one learns without being seen, gains without being detected, advances without being challenged. Unpredictability also removes expectation. If others cannot foresee your next step, they cannot demand or pressure you into making it. You become free to move as you choose, not as others expect or require. Silence protects your autonomy. It keeps your direction yours alone. And autonomy is the purest form of power a person can hold. Consider how predators hunt. The most dangerous ones do not roar. They stalk quietly. They strike only when the moment guarantees success. The weak display themselves. The powerful conceal themselves until the outcome is already assured. Your silence must not come from fear or shyness. It must come from intention, from knowing that every revealed thought reduces your advantage, from understanding that unpredictability is not accident, it is design. So you speak only when necessary, only when the words have purpose, only when the moment has advantage, and in doing so, you create a presence that cannot be ignored, only respected or feared. There is a profound distinction between the one who speaks of his journey and the one who lets the results speak for him. Most people believe that success must be narrated, explained, justified, documented for others to accept it. But this is the thinking of the ordinary. The extraordinary understands something different. Your process is your power. The moment you explain how you achieved your advantage, you give others the ability to replicate it, challenge it, interfere with it, or destroy it. So the wise reveal only the final result, never the blueprint that created it. Imagine for a moment that you have built something remarkable, a business, a career, a strategy, a reputation, a transformation. The world sees the outcome and begins to ask questions. How did you do it? Who helped you? What steps did you take? They may appear curious, impressed, even admiring. But understand this clearly, not every question asked is asked in goodwill. Curiosity is often the mask of envy. Interest is frequently the disguised desire to take what you have built and make it their own. People want to know your method, because method can be copied. Method can be used. Method can be weaponized. If you teach the world how you move, they will learn how to block your movement. If you teach them your formula, they will attempt to surpass you. Even those who admire you may unintentionally sabotage you by spreading your strategies where the wrong eyes may see. So the wise do not reveal every stone that formed their path. They reveal only the statue that stands at the end. To show the journey is to expose your weaknesses, your doubts, your imperfect steps, your failures, and once these are known, they can be studied and exploited. But when you reveal only the outcome, the world sees perfection. They see the summit, not the climb. They see the crown, not the struggle. The struggle, when visible, invites judgment. The result commands respect. There is also a deeper psychological advantage in keeping your path concealed. When people cannot understand how something was accomplished, they attribute to you greater intelligence, greater capability, greater power. Mystery amplifies greatness. The world fears what it cannot explain and admires what it cannot imitate. When you reveal only the finished work, you create a legend instead of a manual. Picture a master strategist at a negotiation table. He states his final position calmly, confidently. He explains nothing about how he arrived there, what factors he weighed, what tactics he dismissed, what leverage he prepared. The others in the room must guess. They must consider possibilities. They must tread carefully, because they do not know what cards he holds. If he had explained his reasoning step by step, they would understand exactly how to unravel it. But because he conceals the path, they must respect the outcome, reveal only the structure, never the scaffolding. Now consider how this applies to personal ambition. Perhaps you want to transform your life in silence. You rise early, you work, you plan, you move quietly. You do not announce progress. You do not seek validation along the way. You do not post updates, begging for recognition. Instead, you disappear for a while, and when you return, you are unrecognizable, stronger, smarter, more disciplined, more capable, and people will ask, when did this happen? How did you do it? They ask because they did not see the grind. They did not see the nights of effort. And because they did not see it, they cannot comprehend it. And because they cannot comprehend it, they cannot copy it. When you reveal only results, your transformation becomes undeniable and unchallengeable. There is no debate to be had. There is no defense to prepare. The work is complete. The outcome stands before them as fact. This principle is not about arrogance. It is not about withholding kindness or refusing to teach. It is about knowing the difference between wisdom shared and power surrendered. When you have already secured your position, when your victory is irreversible, then you may choose to share pieces of the path, selectively, strategically, to those who can benefit without threatening your position. But until the victory is sealed, the path remains yours alone. Those who reveal their process mid-journey invite sabotage. They invite doubt. They invite interference. They open the gates before the walls are built. But the one who remains silent until the result is complete stands unshaken. His success is not fragile, it is finished. So the strategy is simple, yet profound. Work in silence, execute in silence, prepare in silence. Let the world see only what has already been accomplished, not what is being constructed. A strategy protected is a strategy that succeeds. A victory spoken too soon is a victory surrendered. Let the results speak louder than any explanation ever could. Human beings fear what they cannot see, they challenge what they believe they understand, and they destroy what they can clearly define. This is the foundation of power dynamics that most people never realize. When your intentions are visible, when your motivations are spoken, when your plans are mapped out in the open, you give others the blueprint to dismantle you. But when you surround yourself with mystery, when you move with quiet purpose, when your thoughts remain concealed, you become untouchable, not because you are stronger, but because you are unreadable. Consider how quickly people form judgments. They observe one action, hear one statement, and immediately begin shaping an opinion. Once they believe they understand you, they categorize you. They decide whether you are friend, threat, competitor, tool, or target. People do not wait for truth. They operate on perception. And perception is influenced most by what is visible. If you reveal your goals openly, they will place you in the category that is most dangerous to your ambitions. If they believe you are rising, they will try to keep you down. If they believe you seek influence, they will try to undermine your voice. If they believe you aim to win, they will attempt to compete before you even reach the arena. And this is not because people are inherently malicious. It is because your success changes the balance of power. When you grow, others must adapt. When you rise, others must either climb with you or fall below you. Most people choose to prevent the climb entirely. They strike before you take the first step. They will choose to sabotage the seed before it becomes a tree. But if they do not know what seed you are planting, they cannot uproot it. Mystery is not deception. It is defense. It is not a lie. It is protection. The less others know about your inner workings, the less capable they are of interfering with them. And understand, interference does not always come in dramatic forms. It often comes as subtle discouragement, doubt disguised as concern, advice presented as wisdom, comments whispered as observations. The world does not always attack loudly. Sometimes it kills slowly, quietly, psychologically, through influence. This is why you must selectively reveal yourself. Show your face but never your mind. Show your presence but never your motive. Let them see your silhouette, not your shape. Now watch how people behave when they cannot read someone. They become cautious. They speak more carefully. They avoid offense. They avoid conflict. They give respect not because it is earned, but because it is necessary when dealing with the unknown. The unknown leaves open the possibility of power, and people respect possibility more than they respect certainty. Think of the quiet leader in a room. He speaks rarely. He reveals nothing of what he feels. Others study him. They analyze his silence. They adjust themselves to avoid offending him. They imagine his authority to be greater than it may truly be. His power is not based on dominance. It is based on mystery. The same man, if he revealed every thought openly, would lose this respect instantly. Transparency is admirable in friendship, but in strategy, transparency is surrender. Once someone believes they understand you, they no longer fear you. Once they believe they know your capabilities, they no longer respect the unknown. And when respect leaves, resistance enters. But when the mind cannot measure you, it cannot minimize you. The greatest generals, rulers, and thinkers did not publish their internal strategies. They left only outcomes. Their plans were hidden even from their closest allies. This was not distrust, it was necessity. Allies change, loyalty shifts, circumstances evolve, but the plan, once exposed, cannot return to the shadows. Understand another truth. People are more aggressive toward what they can predict. If they know where you are going, they can position themselves in your path. If they know what you value, they can threaten it. If they know your ambitions, they can oppose them. But when they cannot foresee your direction, they cannot block it. They can only watch. When you are a mystery, your life becomes a question others must consider, and the mind, exhausted by speculation, tires before it acts. Your silence becomes their confusion. Your unpredictability becomes their hesitation, and hesitation is advantage. Mystery is not built by being distant or disengaged. It is built by controlling what you reveal. Speak openly about things that do not matter. Be warm, be present, be human. But when the conversation turns toward your intentions, redirect. When someone asks about your progress, smile without explanation. When someone seeks clarity about your direction, offer no map. The less defined you are, the harder you are to target. A lion in plain sight can be hunted. A lion hidden in the tall grass controls the field. There is a moment in every plan, every ambition, every pursuit of power where silence is your greatest ally. Most people fail at this precise point because they cannot resist the urge to announce, to share, to express their intentions too early. They seek validation before victory. They want applause before achievement. And in doing so, they lose the strategic advantage that silence grants. The one who speaks too soon gives his power away. The one who waits holds the world in his hand. When a person reveals their goal before it is secured, they shift the balance of control. They allow others to influence the outcome. Once spoken, a plan becomes a conversation instead of a mission, and a conversation invites opinions. Opinions invite doubt, doubt invites hesitation, and hesitation kills momentum. You may begin with certainty, but the moment others comment on your intention, their voices begin shaping your decisions. You no longer move with pure purpose. You move with the weight of external expectations. Now observe what happens when someone keeps their plans silent. They act without interference. Their mind remains focused. Their confidence remains intact. There is no chorus of voices offering confusion, no external eyes observing their steps. The silent one advances freely, while the talkative one fights a battle on two fronts, against the world and against the noise they invited. Revealing your intentions too early also invites resistance. When people know where you intend to go, they can position themselves before you arrive. They may attempt to block the opportunity, influence the outcome, or take it for themselves. Not all opposition is dramatic. Sometimes it appears as quiet competition. Someone hears your goal, decides to pursue the same thing, and moves faster than you. Your opportunity becomes theirs because you handed them the map. Even those who care for you may unintentionally undermine your plan. When they worry, they project fear. When they doubt, they weaken your certainty. When they question, they introduce hesitation. Not all sabotage comes from enemies. Some comes from those who simply cannot see what you see. Your vision is yours alone. To reveal it early is to invite misunderstanding. Think of influence and respect. Power is not only in action, it is in perception. If others see you as someone who speaks often but finishes rarely, your words lose force. You become predictable, unimpressive, easily dismissed. But when you speak rarely, and every word leads to action, your voice carries weight. People listen more intently. They reconsider before interrupting. They feel the gravity of your presence. The quiet strategist does not boast of future triumphs. He announces only completed victories. And when he speaks, the world pays attention, not because of the volume of his voice, but because of the rarity of his declaration. Silence creates value. Words spoken with intention command respect. Leverage is gained through timing. Say nothing while the advantage is forming. Speak only when speaking changes the outcome in your favor. The one who reveals their thoughts too early surrenders leverage before negotiation begins. The one who reveals nothing forces the other side to guess, adapt, adjust. Guessing weakens confidence, adjusting weakens position, and uncertainty bends others to your terms. Look at the world of strategy. The negotiator who shows all his demands before the deal loses the upper hand. The negotiator who reveals nothing until the exact moment forces others to make concessions. The silent one is not passive, he is precise. In personal ambition, silence protects the flame while it grows. Imagine a candle in the wind. If the flame is exposed too soon, it flickers and dies. But covered carefully, it grows strong enough to withstand the air around it. Your goals are the same. Speak of them only once they are strong enough to survive the opinions and pressures of others. You will notice something else. When you keep your plans quiet, people begin to wonder. They watch you more closely. They try to read your movements. They speculate. And speculation creates an aura of influence around you. The unknown invites curiosity. Curiosity invites attention. Attention invites respect. And respect is a currency far more valuable than approval. Approval is cheap. It is given freely and taken easily. Respect is earned. It is won through restraint, discipline, consistency. When you speak only when necessary, your presence gains weight. Your silence becomes a message in itself. People ask, what is he planning? They begin reacting to you without ever knowing what you intend. And when others react to you, they position themselves in response to your invisible moves. You influence them without speaking. That is power. Silence is not absence, it is strategy. Every withheld word is a decision. Every unspoken plan is a shield. Every quiet action is a step closer to the throne. The one who speaks too soon forfeits the crown before the kingdom even knows a new ruler is rising. The wise move silently until the kingdom wakes to find the crown already placed. So now the pattern stands clear before you. Power is not won by the loud, nor by the boastful, nor by those who cannot hold their tongue. Power belongs to the one who moves quietly, who guards his intentions, who withholds his strategy until the outcome is already sealed. The world studies what it can see, so you must make yourself difficult to see. The world attacks what it understands, so you must make yourself impossible to understand. Let others waste their breath declaring dreams they will never realize. Let them speak of plans that crumble under the weight of their own exposure. Let them chase validation. While you chase mastery, your path is not a story to be told, it is a destiny to be executed. You do not owe explanations. You do not owe announcements. You owe only results. Silence is your shield, mystery is your armor, unpredictability is your weapon, and action, quiet, deliberate, unstoppable, is your victory. Move without noise, build without attention, rise without permission, and when the time is right, reveal not your plan, only your power.